Okay, so what is gangrene? Gangrene is a tissue necrosis which is associated with superadded putrefaction. Putrefaction is in the sense rotting. It has two main things. The first thing is coagulative necrosis, which is due to ischemia, and then the bacteria which provokes the inflammation. So this is all about gangrene, tissue necrosis associated with superadded putrefaction. It is mostly due to coagulative necrosis, which is due to ischemia, and then the bacterial reaction which provokes the inflammation. There are main three common types. The first one is dry gangrene, the next is wet gangrene, and the last one is gas gangrene. This gas gangrene is the variable of wet gangrene. So guys, coming forward to the first type, which is dry gangrene. It actually begins in the distal part of the limb due to ischemia. The examples are atherosclerosis of arteries, Raynaud's disease due to trauma, and due to ergot poisoning. Here, the bacterial growth is actually less because in the distal parts of the limb where there is less blood supply, there the bacterial growth also becomes difficult. This we can find out the line of separation so clearly visible. The gross features are it can appear as dry, shrunken and blackish and mummified. The black nature is due to the hemolyzed blood which gives hemoglobin, later on reacts with the hydrogen disulfide which is released from the bacteria, which later on leads to the black color. Next is the wet gangrene, which occurs in moist tissue and organs like bowel, lungs, mouth, cervix, vulva and etc. The most common example of wet gangrene is diabetic foot, which is due to the increase of glucose, therefore which helps in the bacterial growth, and in the bed sores due to the pressure on sacrum, buttocks and heels in a bedridden patient. What is the etiology? It is mostly due to the venous block, which later on enhances the growth of putrefied bacteria which produces toxic products, and these toxic products are thereon absorbed in the circulation of the body, which leads to septicemia and later on death. About the etiology. Next, the line of separation. We saw there was a line of separation in dry gangrene, but here you cannot find out the line of separation. What are the gross features? In gross features, in wet gangrene you can see soft, swollen, putrid, rotten and dark color. It is due to the same mechanism of hemoglobin which reacts with hydrogen disulfide of the bacteria. Example is strangulated hernia in bowel. Coming forward to the gas gangrene, it is a special form of the wet gangrene. Example which I have given here as the etiology is road traffic accident. In road traffic accident, we can find the open contaminated wounds which gives the entry of this gas forming clostridia. In this gas gangrene, the most common cause is this gas forming clostridia, which later on produces toxin, leads to necrosis and edema. What are the gross features? Here we can see the swollen, edematous and painful features due to the production of CO2 gas bubbles by fermented sugar by the bacterial toxins. Later on, it gives dark black and foul smelling. So these are the gross features. we can remember as swollen, edematous, and painful, which is due to the production of CO2 gas bubbles, and later on, dark black to foul smell. Lastly, the microscopic features, we can see coagulative necrosis with liquefaction. Almost all the gangrenes are due to coagulative necrosis. Next, we can see gram-positive bacilli, leukocyte infiltration, edema, and congestion, and the most commonly you can see capillary and venous thrombi. So coming forward to the summary of the gangrene. What is gangrene? It is a tissue necrosis which is associated with superadded putrefaction. Etiology, mostly due to coagulative necrosis, and there are of three types. The first one is dry gangrene, which occurs in the distal part of the limb, and the line of separation is viable or marked, and here the bacterial growth is less due to the distal part of the limb, which has less blood supply. Example is atherosclerosis or gut poisoning. The next one is wet gangrene. It occurs in moist tissues and organs. Here the line of separation is not viable, and it occurs mostly due to the venous blockage leading to septicemia and death. The most common examples are diabetic foot and bed sore. The last gangrene is gas gangrene, which is a special form of wet gangrene, and it occurs due to the gas forming Clostridium.